This is a black cherry that I'm cutting down here. The reason I'm cutting it down is I'll show you up at the top, but this is a fungus or a blight that black cherries get. Cherry trees in general, I think, because I've had it on our fruit trees, like our actual cherry trees in our orchard, and it actually killed all of our cherry trees in the orchard. But it chokes off, eventually it chokes off the, you can see it up there, almost every branch near the tips are all choked off. So it doesn't always kill. I don't know what it's called. I guess I could look it up, maybe put something in here. It doesn't always kill the trees, but eventually it can if it gets as bad as this one here. Because when it chokes it off, this part here, all the leaves that are beyond there, they stop getting nutrients, and they stop sending their goodness back down into the tree to keep it alive. So eventually the tree just succumbs to it. So that's why I generally like to leave the black cherries. Any fruit trees, I don't like cutting them down because they provide food for wildlife. Looking at that one over there, to give you an example, that's another cherry tree right there. And you can see up at the top, there's a few spots where the blight's onto it. But overall, it's fairly healthy. So that one there we'll leave alone. And here's another one over here, right there. And again, you look at the top, it's getting bad up at the top of that one as well. So that one might not survive too many more years. And I might be making lumber out of that one. So yeah, I just thought I'd throw that in there while I'm at this. I'm gonna get back at it. See, it's an MS170 cheapest, lowest end saw, smallest saw that Stihl makes. And it has a 16-inch bar, and it's just barely making it through that tree. Forgot my wedges. Just a little wedge off the stump over there. That is not how you do it. Should have had wedges. For those of you out there who like to critique, by all means, leave some comments. But for anybody who has the idea that, well, I should have cut this lower, taken it down, I've wasted this wood, or whatever you want to say, that it should be lower to the ground. I also, whenever I'm cutting a tree, I'm always looking for, I'm always looking at the tree in terms of what I can see in it in the way of furniture or artwork or whatever, woodworking. from a woodworker's perspective. And so this tree, because of the stump coming off, or the two trees the way it grew, I see potential for this for some sort of a base of a table or some other things. I've got a few ideas in my head when I saw it, so that's why I've left it this tall. That's why I cut it the way I did. And that's the way I cut wood in general. Is I always am looking at the firewood logs to make sure that there's not something in there that I'm cutting up and throwing into the fireplace that would, I don't know, represent the tree better by making something beautiful out of it. You know, just taking what's there. I'm not really making something beautiful. I'm taking the beauty that I see in the wood, and I'm sort of exposing it in a way that others can enjoy it as well. And I think that's I don't know, I guess on some levels it's kind of showing more respect for the tree that I just killed. I don't like killing trees. I just don't like doing it, but I need heat. And so I'm very selective, and I take my time, and I try to only take trees that are on their way out anyways, or have some other issues, or something that, you know, I'm going to get more out of it than just the firewood anyways. So, again, thanks for watching. So the Stihl MS170, if their low-end saw is this good, just imagine how good their high-end saws are. Now, I'm not sponsored by Stihl, although that would be awesome. I just really like these saws.